Good morning friends. In today's class we are going to start a new topic called determinants, which is a link for our previous chapter matrices. In this determinants, before going to start this particular determinants, I would like to give an introduction of few concepts. One is minor, the second one is cofactor, and the third one is a determinant of a matrix. That means minor means minor of a matrix, cofactor of a matrix, and determinant of a matrix. Now here, before start telling these three definitions, I would like to tell what do you mean by a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Determinant means it's always a real number associated with a matrix. A real number associated with a matrix, you call it as a determinant. So, for example, if I take a matrix capital A is equal to A, B, C, D, the determinant of a matrix is generally denoted by det of A or modulus of A and is defined as like this. Observe carefully, AD, that means AD minus BC. This one we call as a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. If suppose I take a numericals, let the matrix capital A is given as 1, 3, 5, 7. If anyone asks to find out the determinant of this matrix means you need to write that E is equal to 1 into 7 minus 3 into 5 because this is A, B, C, D 1 into 7 and here minus 3 into 5, that means 7 minus 15, 7 minus 15 is minus 8. So that E here is what? Minus 8. So I think by this time you followed what do you mean by a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix is nothing but a real number associated with the matrix and it is given by the formula AD minus BC. Now, after learning this particular 2 by 2 matrix, we will be learning determinant of a 3 by 3 matrices. Before learning 3 by 3 matrices ka determinant, we need to know what do you mean by minor of a matrix. Minor of a matrix means here we are discussing with minor of a 3 by 3 matrix. So for this, I will be taking an example. Capital A is equal to here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. It is a 3 by 3 matrix. If you could observe carefully, in matrices I discussed the position of this particular A is A11, this particular position is A12, this I can write as A13. How this A13 indicates? First row, third column, and this particular D indicates A21, E indicates A22, F indicates A23, and G indicates A31, H indicates A32, I indicates A33. Now, I want to find minor. Minor means it is a term associated with an element of a matrix. If anyone asks you to find a minor of first row first element, minor of first row first element means here A11, that is A. How can you find out means it is nothing but determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix obtained, determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix obtained by deleting the corresponding row and corresponding column. That means if you could observe carefully, I am going to find the minor of A. As I am going to find the minor of A, I am deleting this particular row and I am deleting this particular column. So whatever elements are associated, whatever elements are remaining, to those elements I need to find the determinant. To those elements I need to find the determinant, and this particular value we call it as minor of an element small a in the given matrix, and it is given by EI minus FH. I think you followed. Another example we will be taking. If suppose I want to find minor of A32. That means A32 का पोजीशन में क्या एलिमेंट है? A32 means H. H का माइनर I want to find. Finding the minor of H means what should I do? I need to delete the corresponding row which is being associated with this H and corresponding column associated with this H. So here what are the elements remaining for us? A, C and later D, F. So now what I will be doing here, I need to find its value. This is AF minus CD. I think you are clear with the minor definition. Now we are going to see cofactor. What do you mean by a cofactor? If suppose I consider the same matrix, here I am writing in a fresh manner A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I want to find if cofactor of an element of the given matrix. How can you find cofactor of the element of the given matrix? Means there is a definition. Cofactor of small a. That is, but small a is in which element, beta? A11. That means this position is what? A11. It goes like this. Minus 1 की power I plus j. Minus 1 की power I plus j into minor of A. That means what happens? I means the element present in ith row and j means the element present in jth column. Here I की जगह में 1 और j की जगह में 1. So minus 1 power 1 plus 1 into minor of A. Minor of A means it is a determinant obtained after deleting the corresponding row and the corresponding column. A की corresponding row A है और A की corresponding column this one. So after deleting what happens? E, F and H, I. So minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1 is minus 1 whole square into its determinant. That means what happens? IE, because E into I minus F into H. This is the definition of cofactor of an element of a given matrix. If suppose anyone ask me, find out the cofactor of A31. A31 की जगह में which element is that? I think this is A31. A31 की position में which element? G. So I am going to find the factor of G and the definition is minus 1 whole power I plus j into minor of G. Minor of G. That means here I means what? 3, 1. That means I की जगह में I need to substitute 3 and in place of j I need to substitute 1 into its minor. Into its minor means we need to delete this corresponding row and we need to delete this corresponding column. So what happens? What we will be getting after deleting this corresponding row and after deleting this corresponding column? We get B, C, E, F. That means what happens here? This becomes minus 1 whole power 4 and here determinant definition once again BF minus CE. BF minus CE. So in generalized way, I said up till now the definition of minor as well as the cofactor. Now we are going to discuss an important definition, determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. Determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. After telling this definition, we shall go for some numericals. Capital A is equal to again A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Now I want to find determinant of this particular 3 by 3 matrix. As I am going to find determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, we need to choose a row or column of your choice. Any row or any column of your choice. For my convenience, I try to take always the first row. And with respect to this first row, I will be evaluating the determinant. How it is telling means, you select the first element A, into its minor. Into its minor. Into its minor means what happens here? E, F, H, I. And here I will give this as plus, this as minus, 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 this as plus. How you got this plus sign means generally determined how it will be determined, how it will be defined means minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1, that means cofactor of a matrix into its minor, cofactor into its minor. So but I doesn't want to tell all these things, so here just you write A into EFHI minus, you take this particular element B into its minor. Into its minor means what happens? We need to delete this corresponding row and corresponding columns. So what happens? DFGI. Later again what I need to take? C into its minor. So what happens? DEGH. So we need to expand. That means what happens? A into IE minus FH minus B into DI minus FG plus C into DH minus EG. This is the generalized definition for a 3 by 3 matrix determinant, right? So we shall go for numericals. Right friends, now we shall be seeing a problem based on finding the minors and cofactors of capital A. Up till now just I said orally what do you mean by minor and cofactor. In a practical manner we shall be seeing, right? So this is the given matrix for us. Capital A is equal to 1, 0, minus 2, 3, minus 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. What I will be doing means, here I will be writing minors, here I will be finding out minor, and here I will be finding out cofactors, right? So here M11, that M11 means I indicate minor as capital M, 11 means the element of first row and first column. So that means M11 means minor of 1, that means minor of 1. Minor of 1 means what happens? Determinant of, we need to delete this corresponding row and corresponding column. So this one I can delete, this one I can delete, there remains minus 1, 2, 5, 6. So what happens? Minus 6, minus 10. So minus 6, minus 10, that will be minus 16. Now cofactor. Cofactor means I shall indicate as A11, right? A11, that means cofactor of 1. Cofactor of 1 means how can we write? This is nothing but minus 1 ki power 1 plus 1 into its minor. Into its minor means minus 1 to 5, 6. So what happens? That is equal to minus 1 whole square is 1 only, and the value will become minus 16. I think you followed this. Parallelly I am doing. Similarly M12. M12 means what happens? Minor of 0. Minor of 0 means what happens? Again determinant obtained by deleting the corresponding column and corresponding row. That means what happens? 3, 2, 4, 6. 3, 2, 4, 6 means 18 minus 8, because 3 into 6 minus 4 into 2. So 18 minus 8 will be 10. Similarly here A12. A12 means cofactor of 0. It is defined as minus 1 power I plus j. So 1 plus 2 into its thing. What is that particular thing? 3, 2, 4, 6. So but minus 1 whole power 1 plus 2 is minus 1. So minus 1 into 10, it becomes minus 10. Similarly here also I am going to find M13. M13 means what is the meaning? Minor of minus 2. That is equal to determinant obtained by deleting this row and this column. So 3 minus 1 and 4, 5. That means 15 plus 4, that is equal to 19. Here I am writing A13. A13 means cofactor of minus 2. That means here what happens? Minus 1 whole power I think cofactor of A13. That means what happens? 1 plus 3 into its minor. So 3 minus 1, 4, 5. So definitely what happens? This becomes 19. Now M21. M21 means minor of this particular element 3 is equal to determinant of element obtained by deleting this row in this column. So what happens? Deleting this row and this column. So 0 minus 2, 5, 6. So what happens? 0 into 6 minus of. So this becomes 10. Here now I'll indicate as A21. So cofactor of 3. That means minus 1 whole power 2 plus 1 into its determinant 0 minus 2, 5, 6. So what happens here? It becomes minus 10. You should be very careful in calculation. So M22 means minor of minus 1, that is equal to determinant obtained by deleting the corresponding row and corresponding column. So final remains 3, 2, 4, 6. 3, 2, 4, 6. 3, 2, 4, 6 means 18 minus 8. It becomes 10. Here I am writing. So this is A22 is equal to cofactor of minus 1. So minus 1 whole power, it is in 2 plus 2 into its determinant 3, 2, 4, 6, that is equal to minus 1 whole power. 2 plus 2 means minus 1k power 4, and here I will be getting 10. Similarly M23 means minor of 2 into its determinant. Minor of 2 is equal to the determinant obtained by deleting the corresponding row and corresponding column. So there remains 1, 0, 4, 5. So 5 minus 0, it will be 5. So here also A23. So cofactor of 2, that is equal to minus 1 ki power 2 plus 3 into its determinant. What is the determinant? 1, 0, 4, 5. That will become 5. Minus 5, because minus 1 ki power 2 plus 3. And similarly minor of 4 means so directly here I will be doing, I will write this as A31. A31 means cofactor of 4. Cofactor of 4 means minus 1 power 3 plus 1 into its minor. Into its minor means what happens? 0 minus 2 minus 1 2. 0 minus 2 minus 1 2. So what happens? That is equal to minus 1 ki power 4 is 1, and here 0 into 2 minus of minus 2. So happens minus 2. So here also, therefore directly I am writing here M31 means, as place is not sufficient, I am writing here minor of 4. Minor of 4 means what we obtained here? Minus 2. Now similarly A32. I think by this time you should be quick in calculation. A32 means what? Cofactor of 5 only, no? A32 represents cofactor of 5. That means minus 1 whole power 3 plus 2. Minus 1 whole power 3 plus 2 into its minor. Into its minor means delete the corresponding column and corresponding row. There remains what? 1 minus 2, 3, 2. So its calculation 1 2s are 2, 2 plus 6, 8, and here minus 1 whole power 3 plus 2 means there remains minus 8. So directly here I am writing beta minor. So minor of 5. Minor of 5 means what we obtained? It will be 2 plus 6. It will be 8. Minor of 5 is equal to 8. Similarly, I need to obtain minor of the last one, 6. Minor of 6 means we need to delete the corresponding row and corresponding column. So directly I am doing here. So what happens? I think determinant of this minus 1 only, no? So it will be minus 1. So what will be our cofactor? Copy carefully. A33, that means cofactor of that 6 is equal to minus 1 power 3 plus 3. It is always positive. So directly I can write this as minus 1. So I think you copy carefully. This is about minor and cofactors of elements, right? Now we shall be seeing about for the same matrix how we can find out the determinant, right? For the same matrix we will be finding out the determinant. That means a question will be given to you. Find the determinant. Find the determinant of capital A. For the same matrix we will be finding out 1, 0, minus 2, 3, minus 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So determinant of a matrix means it is generally indicated by det A, and in previous class I said how to find the determinant. You pick out any row and any column of your choice, and the best way I said to go like this, always put here, you start with plus sign, later minus, later plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. We need to keep a sign like this. So whatever row or whatever column you choose, you should go as per that signs. Now we'll be finding the determinant of this particular matrix, and just now we had given some signs. So here what happens, I'm going to do with respect to this particular row. So here 1 will be there. So here above 1 there is a sign plus, so plus 1 into its minor. So what happens? Minus 1, 2, 5, 6. Later 0. So here minus sign into its minor. Into its minor means what happens here? 3, 2, 4, 6. Later again here minus 2 into its minor. So what happens? 3 minus 1, 4, 5. 3 minus 1, 4, 5. So what happens? 1 into minus 6 minus 10. So what happens? Minus 0 into 18 minus 8. Minus 2 into 15 plus 4. So what happens? Minus 6 minus 10. Minus 6 minus 10 means minus 16. And here this becomes 0. And this becomes 19 into 2. It becomes minus 38. So what happens? Minus 16 minus 38. Minus 16 minus 38 is minus 54. This is the way to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. But just remember carefully, whatever row or whatever column you choose, final output should be same. That means final our answer should be same. That is equal to minus 54. Right. Now I think now you people are clear in finding the determinant of the matrix. Now we shall be seeing 2 to 3 definitions, and then using the same problem we will be doing another small example. Here the very important definition, singular matrix. What do you mean by this singular matrix? A matrix, that means here matrix means, always remember beta, it is square matrix. A square matrix is said to be singular, if determinant of A is always equal to 0. Remember, a matrix, that means a square matrix, is said to be singular if determinant of A equal to 0. If suppose determinant of A is not equal to 0, then we can call that matrix as non-singular matrix. So one final conclusion, what can I arrive? What can I arrive? Inverse of a matrix will be valid. Inverse of a matrix will be valid provided determinant of A is not equal to 0. That means every matrices possesses inverse provided determinant is not equal to 0. That means every matrices will possesses inverse provided it is non-singular. We shall be seeing in later classes what do you mean by inverse of a matrix and how can we find out the inverse of a matrix. But before finding out the inverse of a matrix, we need to observe carefully a important concept known as adjoint of a matrix. Adjoint of a matrix. Right. What do you mean by adjoint of a matrix? Means matrix obtained by transposing the elements of the corresponding matrix consisting of their cofactors. Observe carefully. Matrix obtained by transposing the elements of the corresponding matrix consisting of their cofactors. That means if suppose a question is given to us, the same question is given to us, find, if A is equal to something, find adjoint A. How we will be doing means, observe carefully. How we will be doing means, once again I write here neatly, this is minus 226, and here 4, 5. Right? No. I need to find the cofactors. So already we have done in previous problem. So our work will become very, very easy. So I have found out cofactors. And I'll be writing a matrix capital B like this, where I'll be filling each and every row and column with this particular cofactors. That means 1 ka cofactor what I have obtained? Minus 16. For 0, minus 10. For minus 2, I obtained as 19. For 3, I obtained as minus 10. And for minus 1, I obtained 10. And for 2, I obtained minus 5. And later for 4, I obtained as minus 2. And for 5, I obtained as minus 8. And for 6, I obtained as minus 1. That means indirectly, as for my convenience, I call this as cofactor matrix. Why I call this as cofactor matrix means 1 ka cofactor will be minus 16, 0 ki cofactor minus 10, minus 2 cofactor is 19, 3 cofactor is minus 10, minus 1 ka cofactor 10, and as usual, and so on. So if I make transpose of this matrix, that means adjoint of B. That means if I want to find adjoint of A, I need to transpose the matrix capital B. Transposing the matrix capital B means interchange of rows into columns and columns into rows. That means what happens? Minus 16, minus 10, minus 2, minus 10, 10, minus 8, 19, minus 5, minus 1. This is the meaning of adjoint of A. This kind of question they may ask for 4 marks in your CBSE pattern. That means if a question is given to us And if you are required to find adjoint of A, first of all what we need to find? We need to find the cofactors. After finding the cofactors, write the cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix is the terminology used by me, but in general the definition will be otherwise. Cofactor matrix, and later we need to find adjoint A. How adjoint A will be obtained? By just transposing the elements of the cofactor matrix. It's a very important question. Please copy. Right? Now we are going to see the concept of inverse of a matrix. Here we should use a result or a formula. You can call this as a result as a formula. A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. Right? Using this, we will be finding out this particular, we will be solving this particular problem. He is asking us to show this particular matrix is non-singular and we need to find A inverse. Just now I said what do you mean by singular matrix and non-singular matrix. A matrix capital A is said to be singular if its determinant is equal to 0, and a matrix is said to be a non-singular if its determinant is not equal to 0. So here we shall try to find the determinant of a matrix. So how we will be doing means, given capital A is equal to 1 2 1, 3 2 3, 1 1 2, and I want to find determinant. Determinant is generally indicated by det A or modulus of A. Anyhow you can find is equal to, and here I asked you to keep a symbols like this because that is up to your wish by which row or which column you proceed, but there is a general practice to go by a first row. So I am going by first row, and here 1, so here plus 1 I am keeping. Why this plus came also you know, because here actually I need to write minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1. Minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1 is minus 1 whole square. That means it will be a plus only. So I kept here plus 1 into its minor. Into its minor means 2 3 1 2, and here minus 2 into its minor. So what is that? 3 3 1 2, and later here plus 1 into its minor. Plus 1 into its minor means what happens here? 3 2 1 1. So what happens? That implies 4 minus 3 minus 2 into 6 minus 3, and here plus 1 into 3 minus 2. So what happens? 4 minus 3 is 1, 6 minus 3 will be 3, so it will be minus 6, and here 1. So what happens? 1 plus 1 2, 2 minus 6 is 4, minus 4 is not equal to 0. Therefore what can I tell? The given matrix is non-singular. Therefore A is non-singular. Here I am writing better because of space constraint. Here is non-singular. Therefore capital A is non-singular. But we should be very very careful in doing calculations. If we make a single mistake, the whole problem will be wrong. So once again I want to verify 1 into its minor. So 2 3 1 2. So 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 3, and minus 2 into its minor 3 3 1 2. So what happens? 3 2s are 6, 6 minus 3. So it is minus 6, fine. So 1 into 3 2 1 1, that means 3 minus 2, right? It is minus 4. Now before this, before finding out A inverse, I want to find adjoint A. I want to find adjoint A. So what happens to find adjoint A? For finding adjoint A, I want to find cofactors. So immediately I need to find cofactor of 1. So here I need to write cofactor of 1 is equal to A11. A11 cofactor means what happens? Minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1. Here I will be writing symbols minus plus minus plus minus plus. So every time I don't want to write that particular thing. So what happens? Plus into its minor. Into its minor means 2 3 1 2. 2 3 1 2. Just now we have done 2 3 1 2 means it is 1, and cofactor of 2, that is A12, that is equal to minus into its minor. Minus into its minor means what happens? 3 3 1 2. 3 3 1 2. 3 3 1 2 means 3 2 is 6. 6 minus 3 will be minus 3. Later again I want to find cofactor of 1. That means A13, that is equal to plus into its minor. 3 2 1 1. 3 2 1 1. 3 2 1 1 means 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Next cofactor of the next element is 3, that will be A21. A21 means here minus sign, minus into its minor, minus into its minor. So what happens? 2 1 1 2. 2 1 1 2, that means 4 minus 3. 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1, that will be minus 3. Next cofactor of 2. That means it will be A22 and it will be plus into its minor. Plus into its minor. So 1 1 1 2. So 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Next cofactor of 3. That means A23 and here there will be minus sign into its minor. Minus sign into its minor means 1 2 1 1. 1 2 1 1. 1 2 1 1 means 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 means minus 1. So outside minus sign will be there. So 1. So cofactor of 1 later. Cofactor of 1. Cofactor of 1 means A31. A31 is equal to plus into its minor. 2 1 2 3. 2 1 2 3, that means 6 minus 2, it will be 4. And cofactor of 1, that is equal to A32, that is equal to minus into its minor. So 1 1 3 3. 1 1 3 3. So 3 minus 3, it will be 0. And last one, cofactor of 2. Cofactor of 2 means A33, here plus sign into its minor. 1 2 3 2. 1 2 3 2. So 2 minus 6, it will be minus 4. So we finished cofactors. As we finished cofactors, we need to write cofactor matrix. Remember that non-singular and its determinant will be minus 4. So what I will be doing means I will be finding out cofactor matrix. This one I am erasing. So that cofactor matrix I will call it as B. Therefore cofactor matrix I call it as B. That means how it will be obtained means how we will be getting, just we need to write like this: A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Now what happens? In place of those I need to write, that implies capital B is equal to A11. A11 means 1, later minus 3, later 1, later minus 3, later 1, later 1, later 4 I got as A31, A32 means 0, and later A33 means I got as minus 4. Therefore adjoint of A means it is nothing but B transpose, and so B transpose means we should write like this. B transpose means neatly here I am writing. B transpose means what happens? 1 minus 3 4 minus 3 1 0 1 1 minus 4. So this is adjoint A. Now here I am erasing all these things, but we want to find what beta? A inverse. A inverse. A inverse means what is the formula we should apply? Therefore A inverse. A inverse means what is the formula? Adjoint of A by det A. But here det A we obtained as what? minus 4. So outside means I'll be writing as minus 1 by 4 into adjoint A. Into adjoint A means 1 minus 3 4 minus 3 1 0 1 1 minus 4. So finally, if you could observe carefully, A inverse means minus 1 by 4 into the whole thing, but this is a scalar. This scalar can be taken inside, so it becomes minus 1 by 4, 3 by 4, minus 1. Later 3 by 4, later minus 1 by 4, later 0. After this, what happens? 1 by 4, because minus 1 by 4, and here minus 1 by 4, and later this becomes 1. So definitely finally we have done A inverse is equal to, this is the required result. Please write in the determinants. We shall be going for the next topic called as solution of system of linear equations. Now here solution of system of linear equations means there might be given 2 equations in 2 unknowns, or you might be having 3 equations in 3 unknowns. So here in today's class we will be solving system of linear equations when 3 unknowns are given to us. Now what I will be doing means, consider a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to d2, a3x plus b3y plus c3z is equal to d3 is a system of linear equations. This one, when kept in matrix form, how can we write means a1 b1 c1, a2 b2 c2, a3 b3 c3 into x y z is equal to d1 d2 d3. The system of linear equations put together in matrix form I can write like this. If you could observe carefully, order of this matrix is 3 by 3 and order of this matrix is 3 by 1. Number of columns in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in the second matrix, so matrix multiplication is possible. Now here the question will be asked like this: solve the following system of equations. Solve the following system of equations using Cramer's rule means we need to find the values of x comma y comma z using Cramer's rule. For this, what we need to do means there is a standard procedure. First we need to find delta. Find delta. What delta indicates means delta is nothing but determinant of this particular coefficient matrix. That means a1 b1 c1, a2 b2 c2, a3 b3 c3. This is delta. And observe carefully, this should not be equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, what happens? We will be seeing it in the later class. And later, I need to find delta 1. How this delta 1 is obtained means, you need to replace this particular first column. That means a1, a2, a3 should be replaced by d1, d2, d3. That means here d1, d2, d3. And here we will be obtaining b1, b2, b3, and here we will be obtaining c1, c2, c3. And later I need to find delta 2. How delta 2 is obtained means you need to replace b1, b2, b3 by d1, d2, d3. That means second column should be replaced by d1, d2, d3. So what happens here? a1, a2, a3. And here d1, d2, d3, and here c1, c2, c3. And later I need to find delta 3. So delta 3 should be replaced by a1, a2, a3, B1, B2, B3, and the last row should be replaced by D1, D2, D3. Now we need to find the values of x comma y comma z. How can we find the values of x comma y comma z means here I am telling beta x is nothing but delta 1 by delta, y is nothing but delta 2 by delta, and z is nothing but delta 3 by delta. This is the standard procedure of our Cramer's rule, right? We shall start doing problem. Right beta, now we shall be solving the system of equations, three system of equations by Cramer's rule. Now, so what happens, these are the given system of equations, directly I am writing given system of equations. So what I will be doing means, I will be finding out delta at the beginning, and delta inside it is nothing but coefficient matrix. Coefficient matrix means it is a matrix obtained by writing the coefficients of the given system of equations of x, y, z. So here 1, 1, 1, later 2, 2, 3, later 1, 4, 9. Now I will be finding out its determinant. How can we find this determinant means, earlier I said we need to put here plus, minus, plus, and we need to expand with respect to the first row. So what happens, 1 into its minor, so 2, 3, 4, 9, and later minus 1 into its minor, minus 1 into its minor means 2, 3, 1, 9, next plus 1 into its minor, so 2, 2, 1, 4. So what happens, 18 minus 12, 6, and here 18 minus 3, it will be 15, and 8 minus 2 will be 6. So definitely what we got, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 minus 15 is 3, which is not equal to 0. Now I need to find delta 1. How we need to find delta 1 means, we need to replace this particular first column by this particular thing, 1, 6, 3. So what happens, 1, 6, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 9, and I need to find its determinant. So 1 into its minor, 1 into its minor means what happens, 2, 3, 4, 9, and minus 1 into its minor, minus 1 into its minor means 6, 3, 3, 9, 6, 3, 3, 9, later plus 1 into its minor, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. So what happens, 18 minus 12, 18 minus 12 means 6, 18 minus 12 is 6, 54 minus 6, 54 minus 9, 54 minus 9, 54 minus 9 means I can write as 45 because minus 1 is there, and 24 minus 6, 18. So 18 plus 6, 24. So 45, 24 liye to 5 4s are 1, it will be minus 21. So this will be minus 21. And later I need to find delta 2. So delta 2 means again the second column should be replaced by 1, 6, 3. So what happens, 1, 2, 1, 1, 6, 3, 1, 3, 9. So what happens, again same 1 into, this time directly I will be expanding, 54, 54 minus 9, 54 minus 9, and minus 1 into 18 minus 3, 18 minus 3, plus 1 into 6 minus 6. So what happens this time, 54 minus 9, 45, and 45 minus 15, 45 minus 15 means it will be 30. And similarly I want to find delta 3. Delta 3 means here I will be doing delta 3 will be determinant of 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, and last row should be substituted by, last column should be substituted by 1, 6, 3. So what happens? 1 into 6 minus 24 this time, minus 1 into what happens? 6 minus 6, will be very happy if 0 coming, and 1 into 8 minus 2. So what happens? Minus 18 plus 6. Minus 18 plus 6 will be minus 12. So delta 1 I obtained as minus 21, delta 2 30, delta 3 minus 12. Therefore, here we should be careful. X is equal to delta 1 by delta. Delta 1 by delta. Delta 1 means minus 21. Minus 21 by minus 3 means 7. And y is equal to delta 2 by delta. Delta 2 means 30. 30 divided by minus 3. 30 divided by minus 3 means minus 10. And z is equal to delta 3 by delta. That means minus 12 by minus 3. Minus 12 by minus 3, that is equal to 4. So x value I got as 7, y value as minus 10, z value as 4. So you might be doubting sometimes whether our answer is right or wrong. So we need to substitute in the given equations and we can verify. Suppose in the first equation x की जगह में 7 substitute, will be substituting 7 in place of x, and in place of z 4, and in place of y minus 10. So 7 plus 4 11, 11 minus 10 is 1. It is getting satisfied. I am very happy. And here 7, 7 plus 36 43, 43 minus 40, it is 3. So I think third equation also it is getting satisfied. So finally I will be concluding x value is 7, y value is minus 10, z value is 4. Please. Good morning friends. In yesterday's class we are seeing the topic called as determinants. In determinants yesterday we had solved a system of linear equations using Cramer's rule. So once again in continuation with our previous topic we shall be seeing Cramer's rule, and here I go with the heading number of solutions of system of equations, number of solutions of system of equations, and indirectly this topic we can call it as consistency and inconsistency. That means we need to tell whether our system of equations are consistent or inconsistent. So first of all you need to know what do you mean by consistent and what do you mean by inconsistency. What do you mean by inconsistency? System of equations are said to be consistent if it possesses a solution, and inconsistent means if it does not possess a solution, then we can tell system of equations are inconsistent. So I think it is clear. Whenever system of equations are possessing a solution, then we can call that system of equation is consistent. Whenever the system of equation does not have a solution, then we can call the system is inconsistent. So here for this what I will be doing means I will consider system of equations a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1, and later a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to d2, later a3x plus b3y plus c3z equal to d3. These are system of equations. Now what I will be doing means I will be finding out delta. Delta means determinant of a1 b1 c1, a2 b2 c2, a3 b3 c3. This is delta, and I will be finding out delta 1. What will be delta 1 for us? By using Cramer's rule. I am telling by using Cramer's rule. I am developing consistency and inconsistency for system of equations using Cramer's rule. In bracket I am writing, if you want here, using Cramer's rule. Using Cramer's rule. So delta 1, what happens? this particular first column should be replaced by d1 d2 d3, d1 d2 d3, and here what happens, b1 b2 b3, and here what happens, c1 c2 c3. This is delta 1. Later I need to find delta 2. Well, how we can find out delta 2 means a1 a2 a3 in the first column, b1 b2 b3 should be replaced by d1 d2 d3 and c1 c2 c3. Similarly we need to find out delta 3. So delta 3 means what happens, first column will be a1 a2 a3, second column b1 b2 b3, and the third column will be d1 d2 d3. Now we need to observe the following cases. So case 1, if delta is not equal to 0, that means this particular delta is not equal to 0, and any one of delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 are not equal to 0, then we can tell system is consistent and possesses unique solution. Observe carefully. This delta should not be equal to 0, and any one of delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 are not equal to 0, then the system is consistent and possesses unique solution. And case 2, if delta equal to 0 and any one of delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 are not equal to 0, then what can I tell means system is inconsistent, and has no solution, Now there can be a third case also. We should observe carefully what will be the third case. So here I am telling what will be the third case means, here I am writing what will be the third case means case 3. We should observe carefully if now case 1, case 2 has finished. Now case 3 I am writing here. What case 3 is telling means if delta equal to 0 and all of delta 1 comma delta 2 comma delta 3 are equal to 0, then the system is consistent and has infinitely many solutions. So you should remember this particular 3 cases while solving the problems. In examination they might be asking us verify whether the given system of equations are consistent or not. So we should remember case by case and we should give the conclusion. Now we shall start doing a problem. Right beta? Now we will be solving a problem. The problem goes like this. Examine whether the following system of equations are consistent or not. If consistent, we need to solve them. So we need to write given system of equations. What are given system of equations? 3x minus y minus 2z equal to 2 and 2y minus z equal to minus 1 and 3x minus 5y equal to 3. These are given system of equations. So first of all we need to find delta. What is our delta? 3 minus 1 minus 2, and there is no term involved in x, so I am putting here 0, 2 and minus 1, later 3 minus 5 0. So later what happens? 3 into its determinant. That means I think you know by this time you should be perfect with solving the determinant. So 3 into its minor. 3 into its minor means 2 minus 1 minus 5 0. Later what happens? Minus of minus 1 into its minor. What is its minor? If you could observe carefully, 0 minus 1, 0 minus 1, 3 0. And later plus minus 2 into its minor. Minus 2 into its minor means 0 to 3 minus 5. 0 to 3 minus 5. So if you could observe carefully, what happens? 3 into 2 into 0 0, and this becomes minus 5. Minus minus becomes plus, and here this becomes 1. Minus minus be plus, and here 1 into 0 plus 3. And here if you could observe carefully, minus 2 into 0 into minus 5, 0, and here what happens? Minus 6. So what happens? 3 into minus 5, minus 15, plus 3, plus 12. So minus 15, here I am writing neatly, minus 15 plus 3, and here plus 12. I think this will be 0. Therefore finally what I got? Therefore clearly delta equal to 0. If clearly delta equal to 0, then blindly what can I tell? The system of equations are inconsistent and possesses no solution. Up to yesterday's class, we had seen the problems based on finding the values of x comma y comma z using Cramer's rule, and we had seen about consistency and inconsistency by using Cramer's rule. Now sometimes a question might be given to us: use matrices, solve the following system of equations. X plus y plus z is equal to 3, x minus 2y plus 3z is equal to 2, 2x minus y plus z is equal to 2. Here we need to convert the matrix in the form of Ax is equal to b, and after converting the matrix in the form of Ax is equal to b, Ax is equal to b means we should write like this: Ax is equal to b. From this x is equal to, we can write as A inverse b, where A inverse is nothing but adjoint A by det A. I think we have found out A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A in one of our previous classes. The concept is being used, and to this particular A inverse I will be multiplying b, and later I will be finding out the values of x comma y comma z. So we shall start doing this problem, right? So what I will be doing means given system of equations can be put in the form 1 1 1, 1 minus 2 3, 2 minus 1 1 into x y z is equal to, we have 3 2 3, 3 2 2. So later, and this whole thing is nothing but a, this is nothing but x, this is equal to b. So from this I can write as x is equal to A inverse b. Now what we will be doing? Now to calculate A inverse, therefore here I am doing, therefore A inverse is equal to adjoint A divided by det A. Now we will be finding out det A, because det A should not be equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, I think there might be infinite number of solutions, or there might be inconsistent solution. That we shall see in later class. But now I will be finding out det A. Det A, how can I find out? Means 1 into its minor, minus 2 3, minus 1 1, minus of 1 into its minor. Its minor means we need to delete this column, delete this row, and remaining thing is 1 3 2 1, and later plus 1 into its minor. Plus 1 into its minor means we need to delete the corresponding column and corresponding row. There remains 1 minus 2, 2 minus 1. So what happens? 1 into minus 2 plus 3, because we need to multiply like this, minus 2 plus 3. So minus 1 into what happens? 1 minus 6 plus 1 into, here we need to go like this, minus 1, and here we need to go like this, plus 4. So what happens? 1 into 1, and here comes minus 1 into minus 5. Minus 1 into minus 5 means it becomes plus 5, and later minus 1 plus 4 3 means 3. So 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3 8 plus 1 9. So what happens here? Det A is equal to 9, and here which is not equal to 0. While calculating determinant of A, we should check for 1 to 2 times whether we have done right or wrong. I shall also be verifying now. 1 into its minor, that means minus 2 3, minus 1 1, and minus 1 into its minor. So 1 3 2 1, and 1 into its minor. How can we find minor? Means we need to delete the corresponding column and corresponding row. So what happens? 1 minus 2, 2 minus 1. So if you could observe carefully, 1 into minus 2 plus 3, so minus 1 into 1 minus 6 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 4. So what happens? 1 into 1, here comes plus 5, here comes plus 3. So det A is equal to 9, which is not equal to 0. Now we shall try to calculate our adjoint A. And I said earlier, what do you mean by an adjoint A? Adjoint A is the matrix obtained by transposing the respective cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix means what again? It is an matrix obtained by finding the cofactors of the respective elements. So those all things we have discussed, and we have done 2 to 3 problems. So directly here I will be writing out adjoint A. Now see here, we have finished det A. Det A is equal to 9, which is not equal to 0. And now I have found out adjoint A. Adjoint A, I have done my calculations, because in most of the classes I told about adjoint A, how to find. So adjoint A we obtain like this. Therefore what happens? A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. That means what happens? Adjoint A by det A. Det A means 1 by 9 into its adjoint. That means 1 minus 2 5, and here 5 minus 1 minus 2, and here 3 3 and minus 3. Now after doing this, we want to find the values of capital X. Capital X refers for it's an column matrix where we are having XYZ. Therefore X is equal to A inverse into B. X means we need to write as X, Y, Z. A inverse means just now we obtained 1 by 9 into 1 minus 2 5, 5 minus 1 minus 2, 3 3 minus 3 into B. B means what happens here? 3 2 2. Therefore what happens? Finally 1 by 9 into 1 into 3 minus 2 into 2 plus 5 into 2. Next 5 into 3 minus 1 into 2 minus 2 into 2. So 3 into 3 plus 3 into 2 and minus 3 into 2. So finally what happens? 1 by 9 into 10 plus 3, 13, 13 minus 4 is 9, and here also 15, 15 minus 4 is 11, 11 minus 2 is 9, Here also 9 plus 6 15, 15 minus 6 is 9. So finally 1 by 9 going inside means we will be getting 1 1 1. Therefore what can I conclude here? Here I am writing. What can I conclude? And this whole thing is nothing but what? X, Y, Z. So x की जगह में 1, therefore x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1. So definitely by substituting x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to 1 in the given equations, this equation is getting satisfied, this equation is getting satisfied, this equation is getting satisfied. Therefore the given solution to the given system of equation is given as x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1. Now once again we shall be seeing about consistency and inconsistency with respect to the system of equations by using inversion method. That means by using matrix inversion method. I will be explaining at the beginning. Please here. Let Ax is equal to b be the given system of equations. So x I can write as A inverse into b. A inverse means adjoint A by det A into b. So this can be rewritten as adjoint A into b by det A. That means this is det A. So here for us different cases will be occurring. So case 1, if determinant of A is equal to 0, okay fine, if determinant of A is not equal to 0, if determinant of A is not equal to 0, that implies what can I tell? System is consistent and has unique solution. Just now we have done a problem where determinant is not equal to 0 and that has got unique solution, and the solution is x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, z is equal to 1. And now I am going for case 2. If det A is equal to 0 and det A is equal to 0 and adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0, that means adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0, then what can we tell? The system is inconsistent and has no solution. Now what case 3 is telling means, if det A is equal to 0 and adjoint of A into B is equal to 0, that implies what can we tell? The system is consistent and has infinitely many solutions, We need to remember all these three things better. Once again I am telling, Ax is equal to b, x is equal to A inverse b, that is equal to adjoint of A by det A into b, and this can be written as adjoint of A into b by det A. If det A is not equal to 0, the system is consistent and has unique solution. Just now we have done the above problem where x is equal to 1, y equal to 1, z equal to 1 is coming. And if det A is equal to 0 and adjoint of B is not equal to 0, then pakka we can tell the system is inconsistent and has no solution. Similarly, if det A equal to 0 and adjoint of A into B equal to 0, system is inconsistent and has infinitely many solutions. And we need to put one of the variable x comma y comma z as an arbitrary constant, and we need to go by backward substitution, and then we need to assume that constant as a real number, and that tells us the given system of equations has infinitely many solutions. Right, basing on this pattern, we will be doing a problem. A question is given to us, solve the following system of show that the following system of equations is consistent. Consistent means every time don't expect we will be getting an unique solution. Sometimes we might be getting infinite number of solutions provided on the condition adjoint of A into B. So here, when coming to this particular problem, given system of equations in matrix form, that is, what happens here, 1 minus 1 1, 2 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 2. We should observe carefully while writing 1 minus 1 1, 2 1 minus 1 and minus 1 minus 2 2 into here comes xyz, that is equal to, finally what happens here, 3 2 and 1. So finally this is of the form Ax is equal to B, that means x is equal to A inverse into B. So x is equal to A inverse into B means now to find A inverse for us. To find A inverse means what happens? A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A, and it all depends upon det A. Now det A can be written as mod A also. So we shall be finding out 1 into its minor. 1 into its minor means 1 minus 1 minus 2 2, and later minus of minus 1 into its minor. Minus of minus 1 into its minor means 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2, and later plus 1 into its minor. Plus 1 into its minor means 2 1 minus 1 minus 2. So we should be observed carefully. 1 into what happens, 2 minus 2, and here minus minus becomes plus, plus into 4 minus 1 plus 1 into minus 4 plus 1. So what happens, 2 minus 2 0, and here comes 3 minus 3 will be equal to 0. Yeah, now we should be very careful. Now det A is equal to 0. Now how can we tell if det A is equal to 0? The system is consistent or inconsistent. How can we tell? It depends upon the condition adjoint of A into B. That means now we need to find adjoint of A, and that adjoint of A we can multiply with the matrix capital B, and finally we need to check whether it is 0 or non-zero. If it is 0, the given system of equations are consistent and possess infinitely many solutions. If it is not equal to 0, then we can tell the system is inconsistent and has no solution. But in earlier classes, we discussed how to find adjoint A. Now I will be writing directly our adjoint A, and then I will be multiplying with the matrix capital B. Right, after finding, just now we have find out determinant, and now we need to write this particular thing in our answer sheet, in our examination sheet. System of equations will be consistent or inconsistent according as adjoint of B equal to 0 or adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0. That means if it is equal to 0, it is consistent and possess infinitely many solutions, and if it is not equal to 0, it will be inconsistent. Now what I will be doing means, now adjoint A I found out. Adjoint of A means it is a matrix obtained by finding the transpose of the cofactor matrix. Now what I will be doing means, therefore I will be finding out adjoint A into B. What is our adjoint A here? 0 0 0 minus 3 3, and here minus 3 3 into its B. B means what here? 3 2 1. So we shall multiply this. Is matrix multiplication possible? Yes, it is possible, because number of columns in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in the second matrix. I think first row will always be 0, because 0 into 3 plus 0 into 2 plus 0 into 1. This becomes minus 3 into 3, 9. 9 plus minus 9 plus 6 is minus 3, and minus 3 plus 3 will become all 0. This all side becomes 0. So similarly, last element will also be equal to 0. So we obtain adjoint of A into B is equal to 0. So therefore what can I tell? Therefore finally we can conclude like this, I think. Now that A we obtained as 0 and adjoint of A into B also we obtained as 0. That implies system is consistent with infinitely many solutions. Therefore, we need to solve the given system. X minus y plus z equal to 3, 2x plus y minus z equal to 2, and x minus x minus 2y plus 2z equal to 1. I call this as 1, this as 2, and this as 3. This as 3. So now what I will be doing means, I will add 1 plus 2. I think y is getting cancelled and z is also getting cancelled. And now 1 plus 2. So what happens? Y and z cancelling. So 3x is equal to 5 I obtain. So x is equal to 5 by 3. Now what I will be doing means, put x is equal to 5 by 3 in 3. So x means minus 5 by 3 minus 2y plus 2z equal to 1. So minus 2y plus 2z is equal to 1 plus 5 by 3, that is equal to 8 by 3. So what happens? Minus 2y plus 2z is equal to 8 by 3. Now what I will be doing means, this time let y equal to k I will be keeping. If I keep y is equal to k, what happens? Minus 2k plus 2z equal to 8 by 3. So what happens? That implies 2z is equal to 8 by 3 plus 2k. That implies 2z is equal to 8 plus 6k by 3. That implies z is equal to 8 plus 6k by 6. That means z I can write as 4 by 3 because 2 3s are 2 4s are 8 by 3 plus k. Therefore, we got what? X is 5 by 3. I assumed y as k and I got z is equal to 4 by 3 plus k, where k belongs to, this is where k belongs to capital R. We shall see once again. X is 5 by 3. We need to put x is equal to 5 by 3 in 3. That means third equation. Minus 5 by 3 minus 2y plus 2z equal to 1. So minus 2y plus 2z is equal to 5 by 3 going to that side. 1 plus 5 by 3. 1 plus 5 by 3 is 8 by 3. So minus 2y plus 2z is equal to 8 by 3. I kept y is equal to k. So what happens? Minus 2k plus 2z is equal to 8 by 3. 2z is equal to 8 by 3 plus 2k. So LCM 2z is equal to 8 plus 6k by 3. So what happens? Z is equal to 8 plus 6k by 6. So 8 by 6 means 4 by 3 because 2 4s are 2 3s are and here k. So we got x is equal to 5 by 3, y equal to k, z is equal to 4 by 3 plus k. Hence, we should write k belongs to R. This is the pattern where the system is consistent and is possessing infinite number of solutions. Now, we shall be knowing about the properties of determinants. Before starting these properties of determinants, I would like to explain the physical shape of the determinant. Determinant means here I will be considering only 3 by 3 determinant. If suppose determinant is of like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one we call as first row. First row is denoted by R1. This one we call as second row. It is denoted by R2. And this one we call as the third row. It is denoted by R3. And this particular one we call as column. As it is a first column, we denote it as C1. And this as C2. And as this is the third column, I denote it as C3. Sometimes I want to interchange rows. That means in place of R1 I need to have R2, and in place of R2 I need to have R1. That means I use the symbol R1 double implies R2. In general, we shall be using Ri interchanged with Rj. That means this we can call as interchange of Ri with Rj and Rj with Ri. That means interchange, right? For interchanging we will be using this symbol. If suppose like that, we can interchange columns also. So columns are being columns interchange is denoted by C1 double implies C2. In general, Ci double implies Cj, right? So these are the two symbols you should remember. And sometimes I'll be using another one. R1 implies R1 plus R2 or R1 minus R2. That means when I add R1 plus R2, I need to get R1. That means while doing or while performing the row operations in the determinants, I may add R1 plus R2 to get an R1. That means for finding out R1, sometimes I will be adding R1 plus R2 of the previous determinant to get a new determinant, right? Similarly, subtraction can also be done. And sometimes C1 implies C1 plus C2 or C1 implies C1 minus C2 for columns also. And sometimes I may use like this, R1 implies R1 plus 2R2 or R1 minus 2R2. That means for R2 I multiplied by 2 and that net result I added to the previous R1 for getting a new R1 in the new determinant. These are the notations you should remember before dealing with the properties, right? Now we are learning to properties of determinants. Now we are learning the properties of determinants. What the first property is telling means, if suppose determinant is denoted by delta, then what is telling means delta is equal to delta dash. Or if A is any matrix, then determinant of A is equal to determinant of its transpose. That means or in our language what can I tell? If any row is changed to column and vice versa, the value of determinant does not change. That means det A is equal to det A whole transpose, or if it is denoted by delta, I can tell delta is equal to delta dash. I go by an example to show det A is equal to det A transpose. Example, let capital A is equal to I take as 1 2 3 2 3 4 0 1 5. I try to find its determinant. If I find its determinant, what happens? 1 into its minor 1 3 3 4 and 1 5, plus again here what happens? Minus 2 into its minor. Minus 2 into its minor means 2 4 0 5, and 3 into its minor, that means 2 3 0 1. If you could observe carefully, 1 into 15 minus 4 minus 2 into 10 minus 0 plus 3 into 2 minus 0. So 15 minus 4 is 11, 11 minus 20 plus 6, 11 plus 6 17, 17 minus 20 is minus 3. So we obtained that A is equal to minus 3. Now what I will be doing means, this time I will be finding out A transpose, and here I am doing but A transpose. But A transpose means what we will be getting? Here like this, row should be changed to column 2 3 1 and 3 4 5. Now here also I will be finding out determinant of A transpose. Determinant of A transpose means that matrix, there will be finding a determinant using the first row, that means 3 1 4 5, and later minus 2 into we need to denote this corresponding column and corresponding row. So what will be having? 2 1 3 5 plus 0 and anything will be 0. So here 15 minus 4 minus of 2 into 10 minus 3. So 11 and 10 minus 3 is 7, 7 into 2 is 14, 11 minus 14 is minus 3. If you could observe carefully, determinant of A transpose is minus 3 and the determinant of A is minus 3. Therefore, I can tell that A is equal to that A transpose. Right? So, property 1 is clear. When rows are changed into columns and columns are changed into rows, the determinant doesn't change. This is the very first important property you should remember. We are going to see the second property. What second property is telling means, if any two rows or columns are interchanged, then the sign of determinant changes, but value remains same. That is, symbolically I can tell delta is equal to minus delta dash. Delta dash is the new determinant obtained when two rows or columns are interchanged. Example, I will be taking a matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 0 1 2. Right? If you think this as capital A, I want to interchange this is R1 I call, this is R2 and this is R3. I want to interchange R2 and R3. When I interchange R2 and R3, I will be obtaining a new determinant or a new matrix. How I will be obtaining means 1 2 3, because I am going to change R2 and R3. Interchange R2 and R3 means we should use this symbol. And what happens? 0 1 2 and here 4 5 6. So if you could observe carefully, 0 1 2 is going up and 4 5 6 is coming up. Rows had been interchanged. Two particular rows has been interchanged. So what happens? Here we need to keep minus sign. So finally we shall calculate and we shall verify. I will be finding out determinant of A here. So 1 into its minor. 1 into its minor means every time I won't write, directly I will be calculating. 5 into 2 is 10, 10 minus 6 is 4. Next, minus 2 into its minor. Minus 2 into its minor means we need to delete the corresponding column and corresponding row. That means we need to find minor of 4602. That means 4 2s are 8. Plus 3 into its minor. 3 into its minor means we need to delete the corresponding column and corresponding row. So we will be getting 4 because 0 into 5 will be 0. So 4 minus 16 plus 12. I think we are getting 0 if you could observe carefully. 4 minus 16 plus 12, that will be 0. Right? Now we shall be checking for this whether we will be getting the same thing or not. So determinant of A dash, and here I will be taking minus symbol to this side. Okay. Now we shall see. So here I will be writing another step because minus A dash I will be taking here. So there remains 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. We shall check. So what happens? 1 into its minor. That means 6 minus 10. 6 minus 10 is minus 4. And here minus 2 into its minor. Minus 2 into its minor means 0 into 6 minus 2 into 4. That means minus 8. 0 into 6 minus 2 into 4. So that will be minus 8. And later plus 3 into its minor, 0 into 5, and here minus 4. Right? So what happens here also? Minus 4 plus 16 minus 12. It is also becoming equal to 0. Therefore what happens? Determinant of A is equal to minus determinant of A dash. So what we can conclude? If any two rows or columns are interchanged, the sign of the determinant changes but the value remains same. That is the meaning of delta is equal to minus delta dash. Right. Property 3 will be seeing the value of the determinant is always 0 when two rows or two columns are identical. That means we can tell when two rows or columns are identical, the value of determinant is 0. One example also I will give. If suppose 1, 2, 3 and here also I take 1, 2, 3 and here we will put a 7, 8, 9. Whenever you find this kind of determinant, blindly I can tell the value is 0 if I call this as capital A. Therefore, I will be checking also determinant of A is equal to 1 into its minor. That means 18 minus 24. 18 minus 24. Next again here minus 2 into 9 minus 21 because 1 into 9 and here 9 minus 21 plus 3 into its minor, that means 8 minus 14. 8 minus 14. So this is minus 6. 9 minus 21 is minus 12. Minus 12 and minus 2 will be 24. And 8 minus 14 minus 6. Minus 6 into 3 will be minus 18. So minus 24 plus 24, it will be 0. So that means whenever two rows or two columns can also be are identical, then I can tell value of the determinant is always 0. Next, the value of a determinant is always 0 when any one of row or column of a determinant is zeros or zeros. When any one of row or column of a determinant is 0. Or example I will be taking, if suppose capital A is equal to determinant I call 0 0 0 and here 2 3 4 and 5 6 7. I think the value is blindly 0. I can put blindly 0 because if I expand the determinant with respect to the first row, 0 into its minor, minus 0 into its minor, 0 into its minor. So definitely I can tell the value of a determinant is always 0 when any one of row or column of a determinant is 0. Now I will be going for property 5. See here, a small change will be there. The value of a determinant is always 0 when any one of row or column of a determinant is proportional to any of the row or column of the determinant. Observe carefully property 5. The value of a determinant is always 0 when any one of the row or column of a determinant is proportional to any of the row or column of the determinant. So that means what he is telling to say means, if suppose here A1, A2, A3, here B1, B2, B3, if suppose last row is again KA1, KA2, KA3, then I can tell its determinant is always 0. We shall see a small numerical based on this property. One example I will be telling. Capital A is equal to 2, 3, 4 and here 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, that means here 4, 6, 8 I shall be taking. If you could observe carefully, the first row and last row are proportional to each other, because if I take 2 common, what happens? It becomes 2, 3, 4 only. That means how can I write 2 taken common from the last row? So it turns down to 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 and 2, 3, 4. Then if you could observe carefully, 2 rows are identical. 2 rows are identical means definitely its determinant is 0. So the value is 0. Now we shall be seeing a last property in this particular determinants. Sometimes while solving problems, we come across a determinant of this type: A1 plus alpha 1, B1 C1, A2 plus alpha 2, B2 C2, A3 plus alpha 3, B3 C3. Now if you could observe carefully, this particular determinant can be split into 2 determinants like this: A1 B1 C1, A2 B2 C2, A3 B3 C3 plus what happens finally here? Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, B1 B2 B3, C1 C2 C3. Right? While doing problems, sometimes if you come across, we can split this determinant into 2 determinants, and both LHS, if you calculate, also both LHS will be equal to RHS. Sometimes you may get like this: B alpha 1, sorry, I will write like this: K alpha 1, K alpha 2, K alpha 3, and A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. That means first row has been multiplied with a scalar k, then that particular k also you can take outside. So then what happens? Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. If suppose sometimes you may get like this: LA2, LA3, then what happens? That L also I can bring outside, then it happens in terms of product. It comes, both scalars comes in terms of products, like KL into alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So with this we finished properties of determinants, and we shall be seeing 2 to 3 numericals based on the properties of determinants, and we conclude the chapter. Now We shall try to do a small problem based on the properties of determinants. So I will be going for LHS. What is LHS given to us? 1a square, 1b square, 1c square. I want to show it as a minus b into b minus c into c minus a. What I will be doing means R1 implies R1 minus R2 and R2 implies R2 minus R3. That means I will be finding out the new determinant where I should use these particular operations. R1 implies R1 minus R2. That means a new row R1 we need to find by subtracting R1 minus R2. So what happens? 1 minus 1 0, a minus b and a square minus b square. Here also R2 means 0, b minus c, b square minus c square, and later 1c c square. Now if you could observe carefully, I think a minus b, a square minus b square means a minus b into a plus b, and b square minus c square means b minus c into b plus c. So from first row I can take a minus b common, and from the second row I can take b minus c common. So what happens? 0 1 a plus b, and here 0 1 b plus c, and here 1 c c square. So what happens finally? I minus b, b minus c, c minus a. I give a small suggestion. Whenever a row or column gets maximum number of zeros, try to expand the determinant by using that particular row or column. So what happens? I will be expanding this with respect to the last column. So what happens? When I expand with respect to the last column, I think here plus minus plus, minus plus minus, plus minus plus. So 1 into its minor, that means 1 into a plus b and 1 here b plus c. So what happens? A minus b into b minus c, and here what happens? B plus c minus a minus b. Now bb will be getting cancelled. So finally what we got? We got our required result, a minus b into b minus c into c minus a. So this is nothing but our right hand side. So LHS is always equal to right hand side. These are the properties where we used. What are the properties we used means R1 implies R1 minus R2, R2 implies R2 minus R3. We call this as row operation. Sometimes we shall be using properties also. Right, we shall go for another problem. If a comma b comma c are in AP, AP means here arithmetic progression. We need to show x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus a, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus b, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus c equal to 0. So we need to observe carefully. Given a comma b comma c are in AP, if they are in AP means what happens? B minus a, that means difference between second term and the first term should be equal to difference between the third term and the second term. That means both the differences should be same, and that difference in progressions we call as a common difference, and that one I call as D. Now I will be considering our LHS. So I will be considering our LHS. What is our LHS means? X plus 1, x plus 2, x plus a, and x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus b, and x plus 3, x plus 4 and x plus c. Now what I will be doing means, I will be operating R2 implies R2 minus R1 and R3 implies R3 minus R2. How I got an idea means, here ABC are in AP, B minus A and C minus B I should get. That is possible only when I subtract R2 and R1, and this is only possible C minus B means when I subtract R3 and R2. So what happens? Here I am doing, first row will be as usual. So x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus a. When I subtract R2 minus R1, this I am getting 1. When I subtract this and this, I will be getting 1. When I subtract this and this, I will be getting B minus C. And here also when I subtract R3 minus R2, I will be getting 1. I am getting 1, and here also I am getting 1. B minus C, and here I am getting C minus B. Now here, if you could observe carefully later again, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus A, 1, 1, 1, sorry, and 1, 1, 1, this value will be D, and 1, 1, 1, this value will be D. Now, beautifully I can apply properties of determinants. Here two rows are identical. Whenever two rows are identical, what can I tell? The value of the determinant is always equal to 0. So this whole thing will be equal to 0. That will be RHS. Therefore, left hand side will be equal to our